The Johnson family consisted of four people: Michael, his wife Sarah, their 10-year-old son Jake, and 8-year-old daughter Emma. After many years of living in a bustling metropolis, they finally decided to move to a peaceful provincial area. They were fortunate to buy an old house at a very attractive price. The house was located on the outskirts of a small town and was surrounded by dense forest, making it especially appealing to lovers of peace and nature. From the very beginning, the house seemed quite cozy, although it needed some repairs. Fortunately, Michael was handy and immediately began restoration work. Sarah took on the task of interior decorating, and the children were excited to explore their new surroundings, but soon they started to notice strange occurrences. Jake was the first to sense something was wrong. One night he woke up from a cold draft and saw a vague silhouette in the corner of his room. The figure seemed transparent and flickered as if made of mist. Jake closed his eyes, hoping it was just a dream, but when he opened them, the silhouette was still there. The next morning, Jake told his parents about what had happened, but they dismissed it as childish imagination. The next night, Sarah woke up feeling as though someone was standing by her bed. Opening her eyes, she saw a woman in old-fashioned clothes, her face twisted in a grimace of horror. Sarah screamed and the vision disappeared. She woke Michael and told him what had happened. He tried to calm her, saying it was just a bad dream. However, when a few days later, Emma, returning from her room, said she saw a man with bloody hands, the parents realized that something was indeed wrong. Michael decided to learn more about the house's history. He went to the local library, where among old newspaper clippings and archived documents, he found a mention that there used to be an old cemetery on this site which was demolished several decades ago. People told stories about strange events occurring in the area after the cemetery was removed, but over time these stories were forgotten. Every day the situation became more threatening. Objects in the house started to move by themselves, doors slammed, and strange whispers were heard. One night, the family was awakened by a deafening noise. Everyone rushed to the source of the sound and saw that all the pictures in the living room had been torn from their nails and lay shattered on the floor. The walls were scratched as if some beast had clawed at them. Sarah and the children were terrified. Michael, being a rational person, decided they needed to call a paranormal expert. The expert, named John, arrived the next day. He walked around the house with various devices and confirmed the presence of strong anomalous activity. He told the family that the spirits of the deceased, whose graves had been disturbed, could not find peace. John suggested performing a cleansing ritual, but warned that it might not help immediately. The Johnsons agreed because they had no other option. The ritual took place on the night of a full moon. John laid out candles and began chanting ancient incantations. Suddenly, the room was enveloped in an icy cold. The candles started flickering and shadows appeared in the corners. Suddenly, one of the candles went out, and the house shook. Emma screamed when she saw a transparent figure of a woman emerging from the wall, the same one Sarah had seen. Other ghosts followed, all with distorted faces and wounds on their bodies. They began approaching the family, whispering indistinguishable words. John did not stop, chanting louder and faster. The ghosts surrounded the family, but then started to disappear one by one until only one was left. It was the man with bloody hands that Emma had seen. He looked at the family with deep sorrow, and then he vanished. After the ritual, the house calmed down. John said that the ghosts had found peace, but warned that the house still remained a place with strong energy, and suggested the family move out. The Johnsons, though relieved, decided to sell the house and move away. As they left the house, they glanced back one last time and saw a shadow flicker in the window, as if someone was saying goodbye. The family found a new home in another town. They never encountered ghosts again, but the memories of that house on the edge of the forest stayed with them forever. Sometimes Jake and Emma tell their friends scary stories about ghosts, and no one knows that there is more truth in these stories than fiction.